Welcome to Regent Bali Canggu. Dive into the world of landscaping with Suraj and John as they unfold it layer by layer. The resort is designed like an artisan's village, a cluster of buildings inspired by old-school artisan settlements. A combination of wood, volcanic stone, and lush green gardens come together beautifully. Water signifies purity. The landscape designed by John Pettigrew keeps the spaces calm and flowing. Indigenous stones of different sizes and colors are used across pools and walls, showing great skill and attention to detail. The presidential villa feels personal and premium. The woodwork and soft textures add warmth and style. And the beach-facing villas and sea-facing gazebos are perfect spots to relax or spend time together with your loved ones. What makes Regent Canggu special is the contrast it celebrates, a quiet retreat when you seek stillness, and a lively beach club when you are ready for the rhythm. Get a cold beverage, sit back. This is Legends of Landscape.
Canggu is very vibrant and full of energy in Bali, right? So how does this energy come into Regent?
Suraj, absolutely right. The Regent has a beautiful setting in between all this high energy space. As you come inside the premises and you look at the number of pools that we have, you look at the landscape beautifully designed. You see the volcanic stones, the temple stone, the granite being used amidst beautiful palm trees laid and the frangipani flowers. Is just beauty of a very different kind.
Manish, which is your favorite spot in this entire 15 acres of Regent Resort?
Yes. You know, without a doubt, I always take all my guests when I welcome them to our resort. What I call a chi point. Chi point is right when you're overlooking all the pools and absolutely overlook the beach house and the Indian Ocean beyond. During sunrise or during sunset, it's just majestic. Chi point is a high energy point, and I think the highest energy comes from looking at the beauty of natural landscape.
John, such beautiful trees here in this resort, Regent. I'm sure they were all part of this property much before you came and started designing.
All these trees were brought from the different islands outside Bali on huge double-axle trucks. These are Alstonia, native to Indonesia and Malaysia. And I was in contact with the sourcing team, and we were bringing them one by one. It takes 3 or 4 days, and not one of them died. So I'm really delighted with these.
Wow, I really can't believe that they were all transplanted. John, it's so difficult to transplant even a single tree back in India, but this is nothing short of a magic, what you have done here.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't think they'd survive, but they all survived. They're huge root systems.
And John, was this rock also being transplanted?
This rock was also transplanted from the quarries in Java.
Sure.
This is andesite, which I've talked about before. And like a lot of other things that transplanted from different places, including me. From Ireland.
You know what, John? My favorite trees of all here is this one, the people tree, the Ficus religiosa.
Yeah, Ficus religiosa. I mean, this is one of my favorites as well. Here we call it the bringin.
Yeah.
And this was the tree, the species which Shakyamuni Buddha obtained enlightenment in Gaia underneath and taught the Lotus Sutra. And the Balinese, like the Indians, believe that the spirits of people who have passed on live in these Bodhi trees.
Wow, that's very interesting, John. And I'm sure we need to see a lot of other trees here in the property. Let's go.
Thick tropical gardens, tall palm trees, and a functioning herb garden add a refreshing layer of green to the landscape. Traditional Balinese design combined with contemporary elements bring balance and symmetry to the space. The wood carvings here are inspired by the intricate patterns of the traditional Songket fabric. Overall, the visual tone feels pleasant, natural and earthy.
John, there are only 11 Regent resorts in the world, and Regent Canggu is the 11th one. What's so special about Regent Canggu?
Well, Regent specifically, I mean, it's great to work for Regent because they're a really high brand. And their philosophy is really my philosophy as well. It's about detailing. It's about indigenous species of materials, plants and trees. And that's really important because, you know, I mean, for example, if you look over at these pillars, this is andesite stone. It's a volcanic hard stone, basically, on the outside of the volcanoes. And we have different textures here. So we have the chiseled effect and we have the smooth effect here. And the detailing here, you don't see any cement at all. And if you look over here towards the planters, that's andesite and we got the sandstone.
John, people think landscaping is all about planting trees and ground covers. But I'm sure there's a lot more which goes into landscaping. You're the master. Tell me about it.
I mean, you know as well as I do, you're implementing all my gardens in India. It's about everything outside. It's the pathways, it's the buggy paths, it's the swimming pools, it's the waterfalls. It's everything outside. And it's a whole kaleidoscope of materials and experiences. Everything outside.
Are these beautiful women also part of landscapes?
Yeah, they are. They complement the landscape. They complement the land. I mean, you saw that woman, carrying beautifully. They walk so elegantly, bringing the offerings over, and that's poetry in motion. So this is the chi point of the resort. It's the swimming pool access. Very important because we have basically the sun rises in the east over here. So we have the rays of the sun shining this way. And the sunset is down here, so the rays will shine this way. That's a very important point. We have a second floor viewing lounge here, which all the guests will get to know because that's the best view of the whole resort. You have the Indian Ocean out here. My idea from the concept landscape is to bring the Indian Ocean into the resort. So the water comes into the resorts. So when you're sitting here in this lounge, you really have the feeling that the Indian Ocean is coming into the resort. This is the main kids' pool with the water urns. Above that, we have the plumeria trees. The next one there is like an infinity edge, with the gentle sound of water at the infinity edge. This is the main swimming pool with the Baja ledge and the coconut palms, and behind that, the cabanas. Beyond that, we have a drop in difference level, and we have that main connecting water feature, which is the water urns. Beyond that, we have the quiet pool or the lap pool. You can see the decks here. The decks are ironwood. That's the hardest timber. That's the only timber that I use for outside because of the termites.
John, this herb garden looks really interesting. I want to know what's the design philosophy behind this herb garden.
Okay, so the inspiration behind this herb garden, it's a very formal garden. So the inspiration came from the gardens of Marcassac in the Dordogne Valley in the south of France. Now, the designer was a student of the great André Lenotre, who designed the gardens of the palaces of Versailles. So you see here the trimmed hedges, formal in style, and the pathways, which are quite formal. But it's a combination of formality and see the lemongrass blaze out. In the center area here, we have the water feature. So if you can hear the gentle sound of the water. On this side, we have an interactive herb garden, so the guests can actually plant the herbs and they can harvest. It's not only a herb garden, it's a fruit garden. And the Michelin chef, Andrew Walsh, he collects his herbs and spices in this herb garden to do the cooking in Sazon.
Hey folks, my name is Chef Andrew Walsh, a Michelin-star chef that was based in Singapore, but all the way from Ireland and now based in Bali with this beautiful restaurant we have called Sazon. So from my Michelin-star experience, one of the dishes that was on the menu that we're going to prepare today is a beautiful prawn ceviche. But what we're going to do is blowtorch the prawns. We're going to then ceviche in a nice beautiful coconut dressing, lime juice and zest. Let it marinate for a few minutes, and then we'll do a beautiful caramelized sweet corn puree, toasted popcorn, pickled red onions, and coriander.
John, as per the Indian culture, water is one of the Panchabhutas. It's the 5 elements of nature. Does Balinese culture also have a huge significance towards water?
Water in Bali is basically cleansing, holy water, what they call tirta, and it comes from the earth. So if you watch a Balinese Hindu ceremony, you see after the prayers, the priest, the manku, will sprinkle holy water on all the people. And Indonesia is an archipelago, 17,000 islands. So Bali is one of those islands. And it's interesting because the Balinese believe traditionally that life starts in Sanur, which is over in the east on the east coast. Life is lived in Ubud, which is the cultural center and the heart, and the kingdom, the royalty. And then life finishes in Canggu, and that's where the ashes are floated out into the ocean. And that symbolizes the reincarnation of life and death.